Hello everyone, this is the Creators Lodge and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. So if this is your first time coming across my YouTube channel, please do well to like this video, do well to subscribe to the channel and also turn on the notification button so that when next I drop a tutorial video, YouTube will notify you. Alright, so in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a beautiful birthday flyer like this in the Pixellab application in Pixart and also using Lightroom. So without any further ado, let's get into the tutorial. Alright, so I'm going to be making use of the original for this tutorial. I'm just going to make this layer invisible so we have something like this. Now the size I made use of, my image size, the width is 3000 and then the height is 3500 and then click OK. Now I'm just going to import the background for this design from my gallery. Alright, so this is the background we'll be using. So I'm just going to mark this and I'm going to increase the size this way and I'm going to just lock this layer. Now guys, I'm just going to be sharing every other thing, but I'm not going to be sharing the image for this design. Alright, so you get any image you feel like using for this design. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is to just import the image of the lady. Alright guys, so this is the image. I've removed the background, using the photo room application. Alright, so I'm just going to mark this way and I'm just going to increase this size this way. Let's see, I'm just going to increase this size this way like this. I'm just going to place it here like this and I'm going to centralize this also, just centralize it this way and let's lock this layer like this. Alright, so we just lock this layer this way. Now the next thing we want to do is to write the text Mabel. Alright, so I'm just going to write the text Mabel and yeah, and OK. Now the font size I used, the typeface I used for Mabel is the font called the Edwardian script. So I'm just going to pick the font, the Edwardian script. Alright, I'm going to make the font available below this video in the description. So I'm just going to increase my padding because now when you look at this font you are going to see that the letter L is cut out. So and to correct that, we'll need to increase our padding on the left and on the right. So I'm going to increase my padding by 25, on the left 25 and then on the right 25. All right, now so we have this. The text size, I want it to be big, so I'm going to increase it to about 280. So let's see. I want the text size to be big because we are going to rotate this text size. All right, so the essence of rotating this text is is to just add beauty to it. All right, so another designer might want to design this and you can decide that you don't want to rotate the text, you place it behind this way. But if you do it this way, it means that you are going to reduce the size of the image. All right, so but for me, I prefer having it in a diagonal form. So I'm just going to rotate. All right, I don't want to rotate it too much, so I'm just going to rotate it a little. All right, to let's say about 12, and then we have something like this here. So I'm going to centralize this, but now we are going to see that we are not getting the accurate middle, the center, and that is because we increased our padding. So I will have to do this manually. I'll have to ensure that it's centralized manually. So I'm just going to try and achieve that. Let's see. We'll have to try and achieve manual alignment. Okay, so I think this is aligned. So I'm going to lock this layer and then I'm going to move down the layer of the image. Just move it down a little. All right, so let's just move down a little and let's move this up also. Let's see, move up the Mabel so that we can have the letter A reflecting a little. All right, yeah, so that we can have something like this. So having achieved this, I'm going to copy the same layer for the Mabel and then we just write we just write the date. All right, so we write the date 11th July. All right, so we have this date and I'm going to reduce the size of the date because remember I always talk about hierarchy in graphic design. Now Mabel is already here in the typeface here is big, the text size is big, so we can't afford to make our date big also, because we want to create hierarchy such that when you open this design, the first thing you will see is the image of the lady and the name of the lady. So the date has to be in a reduced size. All right, so let's try and reduce the size of the date. We have to reduce it. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so we are cool with this size, and then you just place the size here. All right, you place the size here like this. All right, here like this. Now the next thing we want to achieve, we've achieved the label, we've achieved the date. Now the next thing we want to achieve, let me just make the layer of the original visible. All right, so the next thing we want to achieve is this, these lines here. All right, these shapes here. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to achieve that. If you have followed my tutorial, you should know how to achieve that. All right, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that. But before doing that, we're going to add shadow behind the label and behind the date. So let's just click on label, and we're going to add a black shadow, but the opacity wouldn't be too much. All right, so would offset X, I'll just move my offset X a little bit to, let's say, about 12, and I'll move my offset Y a little bit. All right, just displace the shadow a little bit. That's just what I'm trying to do here, displacing the shadow a little bit. All right, not too much. So we have 10, 8, and what we do again is increase the blur a little to about 12, and then click on the add icon, reduce the opacity of the shadow. So let's see this opacity. So let me reduce the opacity a little bit again. So let me reduce the opacity a little bit again. Yeah, so we have something like this for the opacity. So we replicate that also for the date. Let's go to the date and choose the shadow. All right, choose the opacity we choose for that, and increase a little bit. Offset, just offset a little. All right, so you have something like this. All right, so you have something like this, and then you are good to go. Now the next thing we want to do is to achieve the shape here, the shape here, the shape here. So let's do that. To achieve that, you click on your draw tool, you increase the smoothness. All right, increase the smoothness. In my previous tutorial, one of my tutorials, I showed us how to use the draw tool. So if you haven't watched that tutorial, please do well to while I was designing the photography flyer. All right, so let's increase our pen size a little. The reason why we're increasing our smoothness to 100 is so that when we start drawing, it's going to be smooth. All right, your sketch will be smooth. All right, so we'll change this sketch to this color. All right, this color, and I got this color from the lady's face. So you can click on your color picker tool, you pick the color from the lady's face. All right, from anywhere, but not really anywhere, particularly either from this place of her face, all right, or from this place. So you get that color. So let's choose that color. So I'm just going to mark that. Okay, I haven't drawn anything, so let's do that again. We increase the size this way, and just have to get it right. Okay, so we've gotten this, but it's small. So let me increase the size of the pen again. This is too big. Let me see. Now this is not smooth. Yeah, so this is okay. So the next thing I'll do is to just increase the size of this like this, and then take it behind the lady's face. All right, so but in our image this is flipped, so we'll do that. We'll take it behind, then we'll flip using the crop tool. You flip this way, and then you have something like this. So let's look at the original. So this is the original, you can see, and this is what we just created. You can see it. So but then I'll reduce the opacity to about 40 or 40. Yeah, so let's reduce the opacity to this, because we don't want to place so much attention on the shape. The reason for drawing this shape right, is just to add beauty to the design. So the reason why I'm reducing the opacity is because I don't want to draw so much attention. Remember, in graphic design we still dwell on hierarchy, so I don't want the attention of my viewers to be highly positioned on the shape rather than being positioned on the essence of the design. So that is the reason why I'm reducing the opacity of this shape this way. All right, so I haven't done this. I'm going to just lock this layer, and then I'll copy this and flip back the way it was. All right, flip back this way, and let's see how it's positioned in the original design. So let's check out the original design and just work with that positioning. So I'll take this to front. Just try to see how it's positioned in this design here. Just rotate a little like this. So I'll place one here so you can see that the size is equal, and then I'll rotate this, flip this again. No, yeah, so flip this and then rotate this way. All right, and then place one here. Let's just rotate a little bit again to something like this. Yeah, so you can see we have it here, here, and here, so you can see everything is aligned. So let's make this layer invisible so you can see we have this. All right, we have this. So the next thing we're going to do is to add shadows. Now when you look at the original, you are going to see that this place there's like a black shadow, all right, a black gradient, and we're going to be achieving that using the gradient tool. You're going to see that there's a black gradient here, so that's what we're going to be achieving now. So I'm going to make this layer invisible. I'm going to click on, the reason why I am creating a black gradient is because look at the hand of this lady, this place. You will see that it's not aligning well, it's not blending well with the background of this design. So in order for this part of her body to be blended well, all right, we need to add the gradient overlay. So what we want to do now is to add the gradient overlay. And how do you add the gradient overlay? You click on shape, you choose your gradient, all right, and then you pick a gradient. I already showed how to do gradients in my previous tutorials. So I'm going to click on the add icon, the top panel. I'm going to click on color and make the top panel transparent like this. I'll click OK. Now the second one, I'll click on color and make the panel black, all right, and click OK. So you can see at the top we have white at the top, transparent at the top, sorry, and then at the bottom we have a black color here. All right, so that is how you create a gradient. All right, so I'll click OK and then I'll mark this. So you can see we have this gradient. You can see the top is white, is transparent, and the bottom is black. Now I'm going to increase this size this way, all right, but if I place it here like this, you will see that the shadow is kind of on her face. So we don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to click from the bottom here, this dot, we'll hold down and then we reduce the shadow like this. All right, we hold down, we reduce the shadow so that we can have something like this, but this is still too much, so I will reduce a little bit more, and so that I can have something like this. Yeah, and then I'm going to take this to back, take this behind, place it here like this. All right, so you can see that it's blending. I'll copy again, duplicate again, place this here like this. All right, place this here behind, something like this. All right, we have something like this again. All right, and then I'm going to copy one more time, but this third one I want to make it the color on her skin. I want to pick a color from her skin. I don't want the gradient overlay to be black color, so I'm going to click on color and pick a color from her skin. So this is the color I picked, but I'm just going to show you guys. Click on the color picker to click on the color picker, click on her face and pick a particular color. All right, not the dark tone color now. All right, you can pick a light color. All right, something like this. You can pick something like this. You can pick something like this, a bit light. All right, and then you click the mark icon. So that's how you pick the color. So I'm going to make use of this color, but I'm going to be taking it to back. I'm not going to place it on top of her the way I placed this to overlay. I'm going to take this behind her. I'm going to take this one behind, so it will stay behind. All right, so now you can see that it is behind, so we take it behind like this and then we leave it here so that it will blend even more. All right, that is the essence of doing this, so that it will blend even more to the background. All right, so you can see that's the essence of doing this. So I'm going to place it here and I'm just going to lock the layer also so it doesn't move. So you can see we've been able to achieve this. All right, so let's move, we can move this up a little. We can move this up a little like this. All right, so that's fine. So we have something like this. Now the next thing we're going to do is to add the star icon here, this star icon here. So that's what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to import from my gallery. All right, so this is the star icon. I'm just going to insert this right about now. All right, now the next thing I want to do, Now, every graphic designer, you need to understand that I said it in my mentorship class, all right, that there are 1001 ways to do a particular design, and there are even more than 1001 ways to do a particular design. So the way I create my design as a designer will be quite different from another designer. All right, now for a particular designer, having this star icon, he can decide to place the star icon somewhere here. So once he places it somewhere here, he can decide to have something like this, something like this. And then he can decide to copy this icon again and place it somewhere here. And it will still make the work look beautiful if he understands how to place things and alignment. And another designer can place the square somewhere here. He can decide to remove this shape we drew here and place it somewhere here, and then place another star somewhere here. It all varies for every designer, all right, but for me and for the sake of this tutorial, all right, I'm just going to be placing it in a strategic position, this place. All right, so you can decide to explore. The essence of this tutorial is to give you insight in how to do these things, on how to do these things, all right, is to give you the understanding of how to create these things. But you as a graphic designer, you need to find your own unique way of creating designs, such that you will not be replicating the designs of other designers. I see a lot of designs out there. I see a lot of designs out there, and I see similar patterns of designs in different places, owned by different people. And some of them fine, some of them it's from the tutorials they watch on YouTube, like this tutorial you're watching now. But some are not from tutorials. Some of these people, they look out for designs of other professional designers, and they copy verbatim, they copy exactly what other designers do. Now, if you do such, you will not grow. You don't help yourself by doing such. You are not growing by doing such. You don't become a professional by copying or by replicating the designs of other designers. If you replicate the design because you watched the tutorial on YouTube and the resource file was made available to you, or you attended a mentorship class or a graphic design class, and the designer did the design and shared the resource file, it's to the end that you can train yourself, equip yourself, get understanding on how to design those things. But you need to go to the extra length, go to the extra mile of creating your own designs in a unique way. That is how you attract clients. Because when the client starts seeing your design in 4 different places owned by 4 different designers, they begin to see you as someone that is, leveraging on the wisdom or the creativity of other designers. So you need to come to that point as a designer where you can create things in a unique way. All right. So having said that, I'm going to erase somewhere in this star shape. So I just want to erase this middle part. All right, the middle part of this star, like this. But you need to be very careful so that you do not erase the outer part, outer layer. All right. So I just want to erase the inner core of this. All right. Yeah, so let's just go like this, yeah, softly. All right, softly. So let's reduce this. Let me reduce this and just erase softly. All right, so let's mark this and see. Yeah, so you can see it's perfect, erased perfectly well. So I'm going to rotate this, just rotate it this way and reduce this size and place it somewhere here. All right, let's check the original and check out for the placement. All right, so we rotate this way, let's see. I think I'll have to flip this. Yeah, so I have to flip this and rotate this way so that it can be aligned, with this. Yeah, so you have something like this. All right, so this is where I decide to place my own square, my own star shape. All right, so I haven't done this. I'm going to lock this layer. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to write the happy birthday. All right, so I'm just going to write happy, and I'm going to write birthday. All right, and the name of the font. So I'm going to centralize this. Let's just centralize this. Use the center alignment, and let's see our text size. Just increase it a little. So the name of the font I use is Adinda. All right, Adinda.
So ADINDA, Adinda font. So I'm going to mark this. Alright guys, so immediately I marked this, you are going to see that the design got scattered. So what it means is that I made a mistake while I was working on this design. Let's just correct that. Pixellab has a way of, scattering your designs if you don't follow some basic principles. Principles like when you are writing a text, ensure that, the your keypad does not reflect on the text. So basic principles like that, when you break those principles, Pixellab will, do some things that you don't want. All right, so please just, I'm going to correct this quickly. The text got scattered. All right, so I'm going to correct that quickly. Yeah, so let's correct that. Okay, so let's correct that. Yeah, so we have this upper one, we correct it. Okay, we also correct this. Bring it somewhere here, and then the 11th of July, you can see that it has gone up, so we're going to bring that down, a little bit this way. So I think the Mabel was not affected, so I guess we're good to go. Let me rotate this a little bit. Let me rotate this a little bit. No, not this. Yeah, this. Let me rotate it something like this. Place it here. Yeah, this here. Yeah, so we have a happy birthday here. So let's lock the layers. All right, and we hope that it does not scatter again. So let's lock the layer. The 11th is a bit close to the Mabel, so I'm going to just move it down a little. Yeah, something like this. Now this is happy birthday and this is Adinda, so I'll just centralize this way and just bring it down a little. All right, just bring it down a little. So let's see the size. We can increase the size a little bit to maybe about 70. Yeah, so about 70, and we just align this center alignment. All right, so with this, I think we are done with Pixellab. So let's check the original design and see if we have, anything that we've not done. So I'm bringing this to front and making it visible. Yeah, so with this, we are done with the Pixellab application. Now all there is to do, we're going to be doing them in, in the PixArt application. So I'm going to save this as image. All right, save this as image, save this as ultra, bring to the PixArt application, and then we add the light effect. All right, so let's go to the PixArt application. Alright guys, so this is the PixArt application. So I'm going to be adding the light effect, and I'm also going to be adding a background. Alright, so I'm going to click on the add photo. So these are the things I'm going to be adding on this design. So let's just keep this here first. Okay, let's work with this first. Let's keep this here. So I'm going to increase this size this way, and I'm going to change my blend mode. I'm going to change to screen. Okay, I'm working on the wrong thing. So I'm going to click on blend, click on screen, and then you have this. Now I'm going to rotate it this way, increase the size, and place it somewhere here. All right, place it somewhere here like this. I need to rotate it this way again. So place it somewhere here so that you can have something like this. Now the next thing you are going to do, you are going to see that at this place, you are going to see that there's a sharp edge cutting across our face. So I'm going to click on the erase icon, reduce my hardness, increase the size, zoom, and then erase softly so that the reflection will not stay on our face. And I'm just going to mark that. So I haven't done that. Next thing I'm going to do is to just work on my hue a little bit. I just want to, change the hue a little bit so that it can blend well with the color of the design at the moment. All right, so you can see, let's just leave the hue at 22 so that we can have that red feel also. So I'm going to mark this. Now the next thing, we'll bring up the light effect. All right, the light effects at the top here. So I've changed the blend mode of this light effect to screen. You can see it. You change to screen, and then you increase, and then you place somewhere here this way. But now we are going to change the hue also, because I want the red effect to reflect. I don't want the yellow or the gold stuff. So I'm going to click on adjust, click on hue, and I'm going to work on the hue of the light effect until I get the red feel and something like this. So I'm going to do what? I'm going to mark this. And I'm going to duplicate this again, and I'm going to place one here, and I just have something like this. And for me, I'm cool. Remember, too much light effect must not be on your design if you don't know how to use light effect. So I'm cool with this light effect, so I will just mark this design like this, just mark this, and you just save to your gallery. Now the last thing is to just add effects in the Lightroom application. Alright guys, so this is the Lightroom application. So what I'm just going to be doing here is to enhance this. I already have a course on everything you need to know on how to enhance, so you can check it out below this video in the video description. So all I'm just going to be doing here is to pick my preset. I already saved the preset for this design, so I'm just going to check out the preset, and I'm going to pick the preset, and I'm going to show you guys what the before looks like and what the after looks like. If you want to learn explicitly how the Lightroom works, you can check the video description. Now I'm just going to mark this. Now this is the before of the design. I'm just going to zoom in. This is the before of the design, and this is the after. All right, so you can see the before. You can see that the quality is a bit dull, and this is the after. You can see that it has the high quality. All right, so this is the before and this is the after, and with this you are good to go. You are done with the design. All right, so this is how you create a birthday flyer design using the Pixellab application. All right guys, thank you so much for staying to the end of this tutorial. I believe it has been helpful, and you'll be able to create something outstanding after watching this video. Please do not forget, do well to like, do well to subscribe, and also please share this video. All right, share to friends, share to creatives, so that more people can watch this video and it will be of help to them. See you guys in my next tutorial.